Hi guys, I am here with your next fish lesson for this week. Yesterday we did the colograph of the fish and then we did a crayon rubbing over the top of it. So colograph, I don't know if I explained it yesterday at all, or if I did, probably not very well. A colograph is just where you glue collage materials down to a board to create some sort of raised surface, meaning it sticks up off the page a little bit. So our colograph, we used cereal boxes or empty food boxes, and then we cut little pieces of those to add the details and the designs or the raised surfaces. And then to print it, we just did a crayon rubbing. So we put the paper over the top, rubbed the crayon across, and you saw your fish come through. I also mentioned that you should hold on to that colograph of the fish because we are going to use that today in today's lesson. We're going to do another type of printmaking technique where we use markers and aluminum foil and then paper, and we're going to make a print of that colograph. So here is what you need. So this is my colograph that I made yesterday with the fish, and then we cut apart smaller pieces and added the details on, eyes, mouth, scales. Some of you may have put stuff down here in the background. So we need this. You also need a piece of foil, aluminum foil. You need a piece of paper, just plain white. Copy paper is fine, whatever kind you have. You're going to need some markers, washable, not permanent. So you don't want to use Sharpies for this. That will not work. And then you also are going to want a paper towel, or a sponge, something wet, because we're going to need to wet our paper before we print it. So first thing is you're going to get a piece of the foil that's a little bit bigger than your cardboard because we need to wrap the edges of this. So you are going to put your fish colograph fish side down so you can see the back. We want the back side up because we are going to take the edges of this aluminum foil and start pressing them, or folding them, I'm sorry, folding them over. You can use tape to hold it in place if you want to, but you don't have to. If you fold it, it should hold long enough for what we need. So this will be the back with just the foil folded over to the edge. This is the front right now. So now your next step is to take your hands and your fingers and you are going to rub and press all over the top of this so you start seeing the details of your fish. And you want to press pretty hard because we want to see all those details. So like all the stuff that you added, we want to see the edge of your fish. And use those hand and arm and finger muscles to get all these details worked out. You can have someone help you with this part too if you want to. But you're just going to keep going, and the idea is to start to see your fish kind of come through that foil. You can also take a marker if you have it. Do that, but sometimes that leaves some lines. So I just say fingers work the best. Just go around the very edge, find all your details that you did in the cardboard and press those so they come out. It's mainly for a guide for you to see where to color. So mine is pretty good. I can see my fish really well. I can see all my details. So now what you're going to do is use the colored markers and you're going to color your fish. You can do this a couple ways. You can color to make it really look like the fish and color each thing differently in lots of color, or you can just scribble over the top. It's really up to you, but the marker is what's going to print, not the actual fish. So just keep that part in mind. And you also want to be careful because some markers might smear, so my suggestion is to work either top to bottom or side to side while you're coloring. And you can also color the background. So I was going to do some blue in the background because that's going to be the water for my fish. some water in there. Now some of the markers might look like it's not coloring. They might start to like kind of fade a little bit. That's okay. It's because there's water in the marker. It's not a big deal. Just keep coloring. And some markers might dry in spots. That's also okay because that's why we're going to wet our paper. So I'm going to add some purple in here with my blue, a little extra color in the background, and then I'll start working on my fish. You can be as detailed with this as you want or as simple. But one thing to keep in mind, just like when we do most of our projects, the more color you have, the better. It's going to be more colorful. Okay, now I'm going to work on my fish. So since my background is blues and purples, like this, I want to pick some other colors for the fish so it stands out. So I think I'm going to do some yellows, oranges, reds, brighter colors so it stands out a little bit. Some colors, like this yellow I'm noticing, are kind of hard to see while you're coloring. It's because it's lighter and the foil is pretty light too, but you should be able to see some of it. So I did some yellow on the fin. Go around my details. I'm going to make those lines on my fins a different color, orange, so they stand out a little bit. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do some of these scales orange too to kind of make some stuff match. I like using lots of different colors though. So I'm going to do some orange and then I'm going to pick another color. Like I think I might do yellow too. And do that on here. And then I'm going to do the fish a different color so it stands out. So here it is so far. I'm going to do the mouth. Different color so you can see that. Do the eye. And I had done 2 circles on the eye, so I'm going to do one circle black and the other one blue. So that's what I have so far. But now I'm going to go back in. I think I'm going to make the rest of the fish pink. That seems like a nice bright color. Going around my details because they're already colored a different color. Your coloring does not have to be perfect for this because the water is kind of going to activate the marker to get a print. So it doesn't need to be perfect. Almost done. Going back here towards the back of my fish. Okay. Fish is done being colored. So this is my fish. So now what you're going to do, that wet paper towel, you're going to take your paper and you want to wet your paper. Not too much because we don't want to get a hole in it. But you want it wet because that's what's going to activate the marker. And I think I'm going to have to get a little more water for mine. Because it needs to be really... Sometimes the marker dries. And if the marker dries, it won't print. So you want to get your paper wet, but not a hole in it. Okay. And then you're going to take your Collagraph, paint or colored fish, take your wet paper, set it on top, and then you're going to start pressing really hard with your hands. And hopefully that wet paper will pick up that marker. The thing with printmaking is you never know what your prints are going to turn out like. Some of them turn out awesome, some don't turn out so great, so you just try it again. So we're gonna see how this one turns out. Okay, let's see. Here we go. That's what you get. That one turned out pretty good. So the key is to make sure your paper is pretty wet, because that's going to kind of reactivate the marker on here and pick up the marker and make it cling to your picture. So there is a print of your fish. And like I said, the nice thing is now that you have this covered, you can wipe this off with a wet paper towel and then start again and do another color combination if you want to. And you can keep reusing this plate as many times as you want. Same with the crayon rubbings, you can keep doing those too. So this is how you do a foil print of your Collagraph. If you do any of these, please post some of the pictures in the comments. I would love to see them. And also hold on to your work that you work on while we are home, because I think we're going to end up doing some sort of virtual art show just to see what everyone's been working on and show their pictures. So if you get some of these that you really like, hold on to them and let me see the pictures of them. That would be great. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.